ਜਗਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਭੱਟੀ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜੱਜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੀ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ। ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਤੰਤਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਔਰ ਇਹ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਵਾਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਬਰਬਾਦੀਆਂ, ਇਹਦੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੱਲ। ਤੇ ਲਓ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ अनिल जी सत श्री अकाल।
नमस्ते सर।
और चीज़ ये है, एक करनाटका हाई कोर्ट की जजमेंट आई है
जी सर,
जिहदे विच ये कहा गया है भी जदों जज ने कोई भी स्टे देना है या इंजंक्शन देना है या एक्स पार्टी इंटरम ऑर्डर देना है, जे उन्हें कानून नूं नहीं वेख्या सोचिया या समझिया उहदे ते कानूनी कार्रवाई हो सकती है। और मानयोग हाई कोर्ट ने उस जज दे उत्ते कार्रवाई करन दे लई दिशा निर्देश दिते ते और उन्होंने क्या ये सारे पेपर जिहड़े ने ये चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द कंसर्नड हाई कोर्ट के सामने रख दिते जान ताकि इस जज दे उत्ते कानूनी कार्रवाई हो सके। इहदे बारे कुछ कहोगे?
well, rule of law must prevail in this country and accountability, whether it is on a judge or on a bureaucrat or any other public servant, it has to be fixed. Problem is that in this country there is neither any honesty nor any credibility and nor any accountability. Consequently, the poor people of this country continue to suffer to their detriment. I am reminded of an old quotation: to perpetuate an error is no virtue, but to rectify the same is the compulsion of judicial conscience. I am sorry to say that even the high courts have miserably failed to get their own orders implemented by the bureaucrats. So this shows that bureaucracy is more superior than our learned high courts.
एक फैसला है क्वींस बेंच ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਬੈਂਚ, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਹੈ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਕੋਰਟ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਬੈਂਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ UK ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਲਾਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਔਰ ਉਸਨੇ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ, ਜੱਜ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ 150 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਜੁਡੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਜੇ ਆਈ ਨਹੀਂ। ਔਰ ਮਾਨਯੋਗ ਚੀਫ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ NK ਰਮਨਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਐਟ ਪਾਰ ਹੈ ਵਿਦ ਦੀ UK। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਜਮੈਂਟ ਵੇਖੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ, ਸੋਚੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ, ਸਮਝੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ। ਔਰ ਕੰਟੈਂਪਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੀਡਿੰਗਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੀ ਡਿਲੀਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਆਫ ਦੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਇਜ਼ ਨੀਡਡ ਐਂਡ ਮਸਟ। ਔਰ ਜੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਲਾਰਡ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰਿਵਿਲੇਜ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰਿਵਿਲੇਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੈਂਡ ਆਫ ਦੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ?
Well, Bhatti Sahab, you have rightly said. I am reminded of the famous case of England, Taylor versus Taylor, way back in 1875, where the learned judges held that when the act or the statute prescribes a particular body to act in a particular manner, that act has to be done by that particular body and in that particular manner or not at all. This is a salutary principle of administrative law. But here, the rules and regulations are flouted with impunity and no one bothers. Lately, I was in Australia and particularly in Sydney for 3 months, and one day, out of sheer curiosity, I went to the High Court of Sydney, and I was stunned to see that the High Court was almost vacant. Hardly there were few advocates and there were judges who were doing their duties consciously and conscientiously. I was surprised that an advocate told me that here the judges seek even the public opinion also. So after a few days I went to that high court again, and 2 judges bench were hearing a particular matter, and one of the judges spotted me and he thought that probably I am an educated person. So he just asked me, what are your credentials? I said, I am a teacher. And he was hearing an educational matter and he wanted to know about the educational system of India. I gave my views and opinions and they heard me with rapt attention. And when I came out of that court, the court master took me to his room and he gave me $100. I said, what for? He said, this is our practice because you have given your opinion to the learned judges which they will take into account and you are being paid for that. Now, only last week, my son, who is a citizen of Australia, I took him to Punjab and Haryana High Court. He is there for the last more than 17 years, and when he saw the environment of our Punjab and Haryana High Court, he was shocked. And he said, Dad, I think here it is a culture of vultures. The advocates do not have proper working conditions. Now, this is the condition of our learned high courts also. Three professions are highly respected throughout the world. The profession of a teacher, the profession of a doctor, and the profession of a lawyer. But unfortunately, all these three coveted professions have been diluted to the maximum possible extent.
And that possible fill in the blanks is corruption, greed, and misdeeds. Am I right?
Yes, of course. You see, I was stunned that in Australia, the apex court has only 9 judges. And all the 9 judges sit together and hear the cases and give their judgments because they have to lay down law for the entire country. But here, I have seen that the judges of the High Court and the lower courts, they don't bother about the judgments of the apex court. And they openly say that my judgment is patently wrong and I don't agree with the judgment of the apex court, you go further. Now, this is the casual and lackadaisical attitude of the present day judges.
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੇਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖੀ ਫੇਰ ਗੱਲ ਉਹੀ ਕਿ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਚਾਂਸਰੀ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਕੇਸ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਬੈਂਚ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੰਟੈਂਪਟ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਕੰਟੈਂਪਟ ਇਜ਼ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਡ ਐਂਡ ਦੇਅਰ ਮਸਟ ਬੀ ਗਰਾਊਂਡਸ ਟੂ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟ in the public welfare, not in the self-welfare. What do you say about this?
Yes, you see, to my mind, as a common citizen, the contempt of court is not merely legal. The contempt of court is a moral contempt. Because the court must lay down certain ethical and moral principles for the litigants and their own staff also. I am reminded of Justice Kartu, who became chairman, Press Council of India, and once he said that there should be strict norms for appointing advocates and the journalists. Now, I personally feel that anybody who is a 10th fail, he becomes a property dealer. Anybody who is a 12th fail, he becomes a journalist. Anybody who is an undergraduate, he opens his own coaching institution also. So this is the level of the things which are going on in our country.
What do you feel in the constitutional contempt and social contempt?
Well, both are complementary and supplementary to each other also. Because law is mainly meant for the welfare of the people, and law gradually grows, evolves and matures, keeping in view the conditions faced by the people and society at large.
There is a judgment which I am reminded of during this conversation. I came across judgment of contempt matter in Prashant Bhushan case, in Justice Korean's case, and at the, if I don't say that it is the last one, J Nedumpara, he is also facing the contempt, and followed by the president of the Gujarat High Court Bar, and all were snapped by the High Court. How you dared to show your teeth, and up to what extent it was accepted in the Supreme Court, the total failure and miserable plight of the system. Do you agree with this?
Of course. The apex court should have taken to task Mr. Prashant Bhushan, but the apex court accepted only 1 rupee and exonerated him. Now, this kind of message sends a wrong message to the people at large.
These are the few contents and glimpses of the contempt of court laws how this system is running. And again, there is a question: we are succumb to the Indian system or the colonial system or the colonial system, which is being followed even as on date by our Honorable Supreme Court and the various high courts. Do you agree with this?
Well, Bhatti Sahab, the problem in a big country like India is that we have plenty of laws, but there is no order. So law and order are equated, and if there is a law, it has to be implemented in true letter and spirit. It should not be violated by anybody. But here, everybody thinks that he is law to himself.
It is.
Yes, please.
It is a, you see, common chapter for the common people, and whosoever is able to test his might with money and muscle power, they succeed. Otherwise, the experiments keeps on going on the poor. Is it correct?
Yes, of course. Might is right still prevails in our country. And there is no respect for the rule of law and law enforcing agencies and the governments and its instrumentalities also.
What a wonderful plantation in the earth, in the system, and in the other spheres. This is a short interview for you, expression of conversation, and with valuable comments which we had in our mind to explore the glorifying system of Indian laws, and in the interest of nation and the law, we have, you see, recorded this video through Advocate Jagmohan Singh Bhatti Advocate YouTube channel. Please subscribe it, like it, give your feedbacks and comments. Thanking you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bhatti Sahab. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Singh ji ਬਸ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਹਟਾਣਗੇ
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਈਏ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਇੰਸਟੈਂਟ
ਉਹ ਮੈਂਟਲੀ ਪ੍ਰਿਪੇਅਰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਲੋਕਾ ਯੁਕਤਾ ਫਾਰਮਰ ਜੱਜ ਆਫ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਹਾਈ ਕੋਰਟ ਪੂਅਰ ਪਰਸਨੈਲਿਟੀ
ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪੁੱਛਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਸੀ at what occasion you were mentally prepared
and how many landmark judgments you have delivered.
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਾਂਗੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨੀਲਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ